So check me out. I be finding artists everywhere on social media, and there's some I just watch whenever I go to the gym. Whether it's GQ, a podcast I be listening to, or a video from Complex, etc. And some of these artists I be watching, but sometimes I don't be listening to their music or haven't even listened to them at all. And despite me watching their stories of their come up or where they are today, there's some artists I'd be watching for a while now that I kind of feel sort of bad that I don't listen to. And this artist specifically that I was talking about, this artist, I kind of feel bad for not listening to him sooner, as I find his personality and sort of his personality be chill and having just overall great personality. Plus, after listening to his album yesterday, I find him to be a great lyricist and a great artist. And he's from Florida. Now, I have heard about him in the past and his freestyles, such as the Double XL when he was in 2016 and when he was in a freestyle of the LA Leakers. And that artist is Denzel Curry. Yesterday, I decided to check out his album Melt My Eyes, See the Future, as this was an album that got so much praise in 2022 that honestly it was really buzzing and people were talking about this album and people were saying this was an amazing album. And it was one of those things where I wanted to get into until now. In this video, we're going to be talking about Melt My Eyes, See the Future by Denzel Curry and give my initial thoughts and discussion about it and what I think about the project. Considering me as a Denzel fan now after listening to this album, this makes me really want to watch and listen of more Denzel Curry as I really like his personality and his music now. Anyways, like, subscribe, follow all socials, and without further ado, let's get it. So getting into this album, honestly, this album really took me out of surprise. I really do like this album cover, and before getting into the tracks, I was expecting this album cover just to be based off of it, to be maybe sort of a futuristic, spacey sounding music type beats and sound, as the album cover really reminds me of that and gives off that sort of energy. And though there are some songs like that similar to it, and hell, even X Wing having this music video that's literally what I thought it was going to be like. Overall, this album and tracklist has a lot of touchy subjects that Denzel is not afraid to speak about, and honestly, I respect him for that. One thing I do appreciate about Denzel Curry, even before I was listening to his album, was he was such a fire lyricist when I heard him freestyle on the LA Leakers. He really had such a good flow and good lyricist that he brings, and he's just overall a really good artist, just right off the jump. And he delivers a lot on this album, and most likely on others probably as well. Like in the beginning of the track Mel Session number one. And this track, as you can see, it's one I really like. Generally because this track starting with like the humming on the song feels like I'm like sort of in a trance sort of way. And Denzel comes in lyrics like accountability, I take responsibility for all my actions. I pack them in solid cues. Just because we're not friends doesn't mean we're enemies. Thank you all for listening, sending y'all with good energy. And this definitely shows what this album has a lot in store. A lot of good energy with a lot of shit he doesn't really hold back. Such as Walk In with some female vocals in the background while Denzel is back with his lyrics and plus with a music video attached with it. Denzel Curry really has in this music video walking without any stop and having this sort of western desert approach. And honestly, this feels like a movie. And with a couple of these music videos with the tracks that goes with it, it honestly fits like really well. But up next we got Worst Comes to Worst. The hook on this track I find to be pretty good, and this track really shares and focuses on his manner and the state of union he has. And now we get into track number 4, John Wayne. This track really has a lot to take in. This is one of the few tracks that really focuses heavily on some like real shit, with him talking about police brutality, guns, and the violence he shares upon as it happens to him in his past life. And you can see and hear in the song, this has like little like gunshot ad libs, which I find to be like a nice touch. But then next up, we get on to the next track, which is track number 5, The Last, and this is another song that's really strong, and this really talks about the institutions of racism with the music industry with lyrics such as the USA is a cold place, stay off the net, now I'm consistently reading, you say the wrong things, you get canceled for tweeting, and the world had to heal. The world needs growth. Cops killing blacks when the whites do the most, and your so-called revolution ain't nothing but a post. Lyrics like that is kind of like really crazy just to think about. And another song that is really good and is one of my favorites is Mental. And with this one, it just talks about just him overcoming with suicidal thoughts and the process of it and him dealing with it. And he also gives a really good verse, and he picks up the speed a little bit when he's on the verse at the end. It's another relatable sort of touchy subject song, and I really like it. Next up, we got is Troubles. Troubles has this sort of glitchy tone like driving instrumental with Denzel again going over struggles he's had, along with T-Pain singing with some auto tune in it while also giving the same energy as Denzel. Then we have No Ain't No Way with a bunch of collaborators on this track, and this is one crazy track at best. With Rigo Nasty giving aggressive style like rap on this trap hard beat, Six Lack having a soft chorus, Jid having a short verse but giving what he does, and him singing at the end similar to Six Lack kind of reminds me of a Cody Blue 31 off the Forever Story. And Denzel's verse being cool, and a bunch of other people that I really can't remember because there's so much to take in with this track and a lot of features. The features basically show what everyone is on when it comes to this track. The next one we have is X-Wing with Denzel rapping with a little bit of singing on the hook. It's pretty much what it is. He talks about success with a little bit of hate and jealousy. I do like this track. I do like the touches of the violins at the end, but the music video to it is damn near good. I like the futuristic like this, and as I mentioned in previous videos, like I said, and what I just said in the beginning of the video, I thought this was the approach it was going to take, and this is just really cool in general. Next up we have is Angels, with the hook having female vocals, with Denzel having this look and talk about validation and not caring if he's rich. Weirdly enough, this song kind of reminds me of a Corday sort of track. I feel like Corday will have a sort of beat similar to this, and he'll be pretty good at this. But the next one we have is The Smell of Death. A short track, kind of feels like an interlude sort of way, but it has a dark, sneaky cartoon transition that transitions to the next song, which is pretty good, with Thundercat producing on this. And then we have two tracks, which I'm not gonna go over or not gonna say the names because I'm gonna butcher it. But we have track 12 and track 13. These two tracks are really, really good. This has like sort of gives off a anime Japanese style like theme, and the music video to track number 13 is pretty much related to that. Bro has his inner Karate Kid and Cobra Kai skills in this scene. And then lastly, for track number 14, we got the Ills, I guess. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but anyway, this one has this sort of piano start off with Denzel ending it off talking about deep lyrics and his mental health state. And just overall, this album is really, really good. Like, really good. Has a lot of tracks that are really great, has so much to offer, and has so much to go on with it. And I'm glad I really listened to this, and this makes me really want to check more of Denzel Curry's albums. I believe there is an album he came out this year recently called The King of Mischievous South, which I will check out as soon as quickly as possible, as I really, like I said, enjoy Denzel's music from what I'm hearing. Anyways, let me know what y'all thought about this. And if y'all like this, you feel me, like, subscribe, follow all socials. I'm out here, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.